Valentine's Day is right around the corner, and while you may be getting some chocolates or something sweet, nothing is sweeter than crafting a retirement plan that keeps you secure for years to come, right? Sounds sweet. You can join us to talk about this retirement Valentine to your future self. We've got Gary and Laurel Stewart. They're from Mattson Financial Services, the father-daughter team that's been helping West Michigan's retirees plan for a more successful retirement for decades. You may have also heard them on their popular radio show, Money Mentors. Good morning, Gary. Hi, Laurel. How are you?
Hello, good.
Happy
Valentine's Day, eh?
You got any special traditions?
Actually, I have a client that has a great tradition. They always go on Valentine's Day and have steak and lobster. And so when they came in the office, they said, one thing we want to guarantee, no matter what's going on, we want to have steak and lobster.
Okay.
And I'm thinking, that's not too hard to guarantee. And then they told me the rest of the story. Sometimes we have steak and lobster in New York. Sometimes we have it. So they always wanted to travel, be out where they want to be on Valentine's Day, and enjoy that steak and lobster, surf and turf, if you will.
There you go.
And we've had them for many, many years, and they've been able to enjoy that all those that
What
time.
a great tradition, right? To be able to have the money. To be able to have the freedom to be able to travel where you want and have that surf and turf with your sweetheart. Let's talk a little bit about, if you were planning a retirement Valentine, what would you include in it, Laurel?
Oh, man. It's a packed question, but I think number one has to be income, right? Because that's going to be that foundation that's going to guarantee everything, and making sure once you retire, I feel confident with that because I have this paycheck that's still coming in. But next thing that you need to look at is taxes. Okay. Because if you're the traditional, saver out there, you have a 401k or something like that in an employer plan, that's great for you to tax defer, right? So you're deferring your tax to a later date. Then when you start taking your money because you retire from that account, taxes are due. So you want to make sure, what does that look like to diversify? Or if you don't need those monies because maybe you have a pension and Social Security, you're now growing this nest egg more and more, and then Uncle Sam, right now at 73 at least, required minimum distributions come into play, and they say, we don't care that you don't need the money, we're still going to force you to take it. So you just want to make sure you're looking at these things and working with an advisor or a team so you can ask these questions, because that's a huge burden for you to carry.
Absolutely, and I want to feel the love.
Yeah, exactly. You want to feel the love of it. Yep.
Is there a place where the clients struggle with certain areas when it comes to planning for retirement? Is there one sore spot?
I think the biggest one that people overlook is the factor that they hear this story about stocks and bonds in a relationship. You should have 60-40 or 40-60 or whatever that looks like. And we found out, since I've been in the business since 1976, that stocks and bonds are not the only things that you should be holding. You should be holding assets other than stocks and bonds that don't react the same way that stocks and bonds do. If you look at it since 2020, in the last 25 years, about a third of the time, stocks and bonds have both lost value, great value, in a downturn market. So if you're only offering yourselves the stocks and bonds, you're going to have that ride. Most retirees don't like that, including myself. I don't like that.
You don't feel the love.
No. Yeah. So I want to be able to say to myself, look, I got my income. I know I'm going to have that tomorrow, no matter what the markets do. So we have to have those alternative assets that are not included in stocks and bonds. By adding them into it, we actually reduce the risk and smooth out the ride.
I like that, a smooth ride. Okay, when you're talking love, though, and those candy hearts, there's always the one that you don't like, right? There's always that one flavor.
Hate something.
That one's going to have the word taxes on it, right?
Oh, yeah. Hate taxes.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I love the idea of lower taxes, but we still obviously have to pay our taxes. This is something that I completely would entrust to a fiduciary.
Absolutely. And because the tax law changes, it's every year those are changing, and how much you can contribute or how much you can deduct, all of these figures. So for you to go at that alone would just be chaos in its own, but also you want to make sure from the diversification standpoint, you're diversified by the different asset types that you're holding, but also back to that piece are what are the different types, the taxation that are on those accounts. Should you have some Roth funds in there? Maybe you pay the tax now, and then you have this workhorse for you to, that doesn't count as income as you take that in the future. What about non-qualified assets? So you just want to make sure you're not pigeonholing yourself in the future to where you don't have flexibility. So that's why we go back to diversification.
I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I think I can put it in our theme here. What you're telling me is planning for retirement and having those tools is a lot like a box of chocolates.
Hey, there you
Okay,
go.
you're gonna have a little bit of this, a little bit
Yes.
of that. There's a lot of chocolates in that box to choose from to make sure that you
As long as you like chocolate.
Right. Well, you gotta have
I mean, we've got coconut, right? We got all the fun ones.
you can
so.
have the coconut one. Sweet deals are waiting for you. And of course, you're also offering that as well. You've got a great offer for those who might want to have theirs looked at or get one started.
Yep. I think that's the biggest thing you can give your loved one right now is that, second piece or that, secondary advice to know how are things going. Do you need some help along the way? So you can give us a call. If you are one of the first 5 callers and you've saved $250,000, we'd love to have you come into the office, meet our awesome team, work with one of our fiduciary advisors to make sure you do have a sweet Valentine's.
Absolutely. What a great gift. All I have to do. It's a wonderful offer. Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Laura. If you're at home thinking about retirement, if this is something that you're entering, or maybe someone that you know is entering, show your future self some love, or them. Give Mattson Financial a call today. 1-800-536-8907 to reserve your spot and start crafting a retirement plan designed just for you. That's 1-800-536-8907. And don't wait. Those spots fill up fast.